Wow. Good evening, and we are so excited to be back in our studio here. And this is a special occasion. This is episode number 12. Episode number 12 that we are celebrating this evening. Wow, that's good. That's about 12. Yes. So that's how we go here at the Be Extraordinary podcast. We always say it's all about you, and we are so happy to be in the studio. Bizarre Creative is very supportive of what we do, and we have a space here, and he does a lot of things with media design and pictures. So please feel free to contact him and be part of what he does with website designs and photos and videos. It's been a wonderful week so far. This is Hump Day. And the good thing about Hump Day is that we have 2 more days, Thursday and Fridays, and then we have the weekend. So that's going to be exciting. I can't wait for the weekend to come by, but be anxious for nothing and everything, be content and take our time. So we're going to enjoy this show today. Be where your feet are. Our feet are here in the studio. And I am Joetta, your 4-time Olympian, your motivational speaker, your leader. I am whatever you wanted me to be, but today I am the host of the podcast, but I can't keep saying podcast and we, because I have an extraordinary co-host, that's Tyrone Johnson, who's been retired for almost 30 years now. That's a great thing. Doesn't look a day over 30, so how could it be retired?
Retired for 7 years. I'll give you 7. 30 sounds good. 7 now.
Retired for 7 years, and he was working for fires in Newark for 25 years, but he's doing a lot of fitness and wellness and coaching now, so that's a great thing. And we want to make sure that we bring summertime fitness to you. So Tyrone, nice to see you in the studio.
Nice to see you again. Thank you for that 30-year retirement. And when I get there, I'll thank you again.
That's what I said. 30 years, you don't look a day over 30. So that's why, because it hasn't been 30 years. It's been more like 7. With all that being said, this is a great show, Summertime Fitness, and it's being sponsored by the Currnt. That's CURRNT.com. There's no E in Current. They do a lot of handcrafted, unique jewelries, and for women. And you can go to the website and buy the jewelry yourself, or feel free to send that website to someone and tell them to buy the jewelry for you, because you deserve all of the beautiful jewelry on that website. So we have a lot to do, but we have our rules and all that good stuff. So Tyrone, take it away.
Okay, last episode for the Summertime Fitness podcast that we're doing without these weights. So we just want to let y'all know what the rules are. We're going to have 3 different sections again. The first 20-minute set is for your purpose. Second is going to be prepare. And the last one is persistent. So everything is in the line of Joetta's P's again. So, but those things mean a lot to us. Okay, so when we go ahead and start going through the segments, we're just going to let you know a little bit of the goals that we want you to do for each segment.
And again, this is the last show, but even though it's the last Summertime Fitness show, we're just getting ready for August, because when August comes around, there's a lot of preparation you have to do to get ready for our fitness challenge. And we're going to talk about that. The JoTyme Fitness Challenge is a fitness challenge, and we will focus on condition, nutrition, and rest. That's not until September. So the month of August, we have to get everyone ready for this fitness challenge. So again, this is the last fitness show, but this is just the beginning of you getting fit and getting ready for the fall, the winter, the spring and the summer again. So we talk about the purpose and the purpose of the show, the purpose of your life, and the purpose of Summertime Fitness. So what's the purpose of this challenge of Summertime Fitness, and why we've been working so hard to give people great information to make them better health wise?
Well, the purpose for the show in the beginning was to inform people on just the things that we did in our life, the jobs we did, the work we did, the fitness we did, the accolades we did in sports and everything. But then we moved on to more informative things of the inside of our bodies, because a lot of times I always used to tell Joetta, everybody pays attention to the front of their body. They never worry about the back. And the back is more important too. We sit down all day, we drive all day, everything is behind us. We don't pay attention to it till we start standing up. So the purpose for us is to start working our total body, not just to keep pushing weights or to do everything in front of you. Things in behind you are important too. So the purpose that we're going to start with you today is write down what your purpose is. Your purpose might be to start walking. Your purpose might be to start riding a bike. Your purpose might be to start drinking more water or eating more fruit. So have a purpose. Mine every day is, I'm just so happy that 6 months later, I'm able to lift weights. I have not lifted weights in a year and a half. So for me to go into the gym and do a weight section, it's light, but it's making me happy. That's my purpose right now, for me to just gain my happiness. And that's my me time when I'm out working out.
And another way to look at this too is when we talk about purpose, you need to narrow it down. So Tyrone mentioned his me time and things like that, or him to be happy. What I want you to do is really, really concentrate on what your goal is. Yes, we all want to be happy, and yes, we want to, do whatever it is. But let's be specific. So if I were going to do my purpose right now is to be able to run a 5K. That's 3.1 miles. And that is my purpose. So I have to do all of my training, all of my goals, all of my focus will be trying to attain that goal. So your purpose might be to walk up steps. Your purpose might be to lose inches. Your purpose might be to eat correct meals, or weight loss, or I'm not sure what it will be, but be very specific about your purpose and do not change the purpose. When it gets difficult, when you're working through everything and you say, oh, I'm going to give up. No, stick to your purpose and continue to do everything that you're going to write down to help you obtain that goal.
Something very strange is happening in the world today, because a lot of times people are not, their purpose is changing based on the environment.
Right.
Because right now, when I turn the news on, they're saying that the restaurants can't stay open because people are not wanting to work. They're saying the different areas are closing. People don't want to go into the workforce anymore because masks are getting ready to be required, or a vaccine. So their purpose was to, get the new house or get ready to send their kids to school. But now they have to readjust their purpose just a little bit, because it's your own will to either get vaccinated or not. It's your own will to wear a mask or not. All of these are, because it's not mandated and it's not a law. So a lot of times when Joetta asked me today, when I'm walking around and I'm going to certain buildings, do I always mask up? And I said, well, some buildings I don't. Like right now, I'm not, because we're both vaccinated.
Right.
But some people that I'm not comfortable with, I might have to, I always carry a mask. But so when you think about your own purpose, write it down, say it, and then achieve it. Because a lot of times we do this. We set a purpose in our head. Like the rest of the summer, I just want to drink water and exercise. That's the rest of the summer. But how about one day you just don't drink water? You didn't not make your purpose. The next day, drink 2 more bottles of water. Okay, so don't get discouraged or stop doing it. Over in at the Olympic Games now, one of the best gymnasts ever in the world, she just didn't want to compete anymore. It wasn't in her mindset. She said that the pressure was too hard. But guess what? 4 years ago, her purpose was to go to the Olympics again after being so dominant. She made it. She's the best. And it's just not for her right now.
Right. And so I think that when we're talking about goals and watching the Olympics, again, we have to talk about your purpose. And when we look at our lives as people, as parents, as husbands and wives and children, you know, we have a purpose there, and we really work hard at trying to be the best in that area. So when you're working on you or your me time, as Tyrone said, work on being the best at that. It's not about being better than anybody else, but it's about being the best that you can. And sometimes when you have a purpose, if you have a partner, even though you may do some of these activities together, their purpose may be different from yours, but you can help each other. You can feed off of each other. So if you are together, you could do some things that each other like, but then there's going to be a time when you have to separate out and do what's specifically for you.
Yes.
And talking to Tyrone earlier today, he talked about getting his calves more developed. And so if we were together doing something, he might work on his calves and I might work on my quads or my hamstrings. But the idea is that we still have our purpose. And even if you're together with someone, still stay true to your purpose. Don't try and do things that get that other person's purpose, because that's specifically for them.
Yeah, and that's another key. That's a very, very good keynote right there. Your purpose is not somebody else's purpose. When I was coaching her daughter, my goddaughter, Talitha, I was training her for her to be a really good runner, but she was looking for me to give her the things that I did in track and field. That was my purpose. I could not do that because my mindset was totally different. And Joetta would say that Talitha's kind of lazy, Talitha's saying these things in the beginning, and she was. So my job was to figure out what are the good days and then work on that day, because every day ain't gonna be good for you. I'm telling you, you're not gonna do everything that you want to do every day. You might run into a wall when it comes to that day. For instance, we say we're going to do 5 push-ups, 5 basic girl push-ups or boy push-ups or elevator push-ups. In the day that you feel kind of tight up here or something's going wrong, you might not be able to do the 5 push-ups, but guess what you come back and do? You just elevate yourself and you do like a plank. So a lot of times we can scale back on our purpose and just do something else. I don't want to walk 5 miles. Maybe I'll do 2 today. You know, so figure out something that fits you and don't worry about whoever else wants you to be like them. You can follow people sometimes, but it's on you. We're only concerned about what makes you tick, what makes you better, and what makes you happy.
We're going to go back to that because I want to make sure that you're clear. What Tyrone said is something that you need to pay attention to. And he said that if you don't want to do 5 miles a day, your purpose is maybe to do 3 miles. Now, your purpose is really, let's say your purpose is to be able to, within 2 weeks, be able to walk 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Say that's your purpose. So there will be strategies on the app that can help you obtain that purpose. So your purpose is not to walk the 6 minutes the first day. You are to work your way up to that. So let's be careful not to say that, okay, if I don't walk the 6 minutes today, then I'm not going to achieve my purpose. We're going to give you a strategy, a plan that helps you get to your 6 minutes within the two week period. Now, I say that because a lot of people cannot walk 6 minutes.
No.
And so even though you're saying, oh, that's a piece of cake, that will be one of the challenges in September for you to see if you can walk 6 minutes. And guess what? If you stop at 1 minute, if you stop at 30 seconds, that's okay. That's your benchmark. And then as the weeks go by, you will be able to do that if you stay steady. We always say follow one course until successful. So if anyone has any questions on this part right now regarding your purpose and want to get a little clarity on that, please put your hand up and we will make sure that we call you. And you know, a lot of times you put things in the chat and we miss it and we get emails saying, well, I had a question. You know, if you don't want us to see your beautiful face, put your video off and then raise your hand and we can still reach you that way. So it's really important. We're going through the rules nice and slowly so you can understand the process when we talk about the fitness challenge, having a condition, nutrition, and also rest. So I don't see any questions from anyone. So this is a good part for us to stop and do our check-in, right?
Yes. Anybody want to check in on how their week went from last Wednesday to today? We give you 7 days, to do something that you haven't done or you did differently from last week to today. And like I said, it could be from, parking a little further to get to your car. It could be, let me walk upstairs instead of taking the elevator. So whatever you've done, it's all about fitness.
Yeah.
I'm at a benchmark right now. I mean, right now, July feels amazing to me because December was just so cloudy. And 7 months later, to be sitting here talking to all of these lovely women and handsome guys on the screen, it feels good.
And I think that we want you to feel good about yourselves. And remember, during the purpose period, every day, you're not going to feel like doing something, but you have to stay committed to your task at hand. And we would like you to do the exercises and the activities starting in the morning, but sometimes your schedule does not allow you to do that in the morning, but get it done. Mm-hmm. I have a video called the Gotta Do video. And we always say, you got to get it done, or you got to get this done. If you miss a day, that's life, that happens. And Tyrone said you should try and make it up. My mother would always say ketchup is for hamburgers and hot dogs. So once that day is gone, it's going to be gone. So you can't do double the next day. Yes. You have to get back on track and continue along. So we're not going to do anything making up anything. We're not going to try and catch up with anybody at all. That's not anything that we're going to do. So these segments go quickly, and we're going to go to our next segment after.
Question from Leslie.
Oh, there's a question? Okay. Yes. Leslie, there's a question.
I just unmuted. Hello, and congratulations on your 12th episode.
Thank you.
Every episode has been just one better than the next, so I really appreciate it. I wanted to check in, but I also had a question before we got to the check-in point, but I'll check in first. It's been a little different this week because I had 2 doctor's appointments, so I couldn't eat the way I had been eating because I can't eat before blood work. So as I was trying to eat like by 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, that didn't happen a few times this week. But nevertheless, I did do something different today. Normally right outside of the doctor's office when I come out, whomever's going to drive me at that particular time until I'm released to drive myself would normally pick me up in front of the doctor's office. Yes. Today, I took a big step and I walked, I want to say about 2 blocks to get to the avenue as opposed to them coming directly in front of the door. Now, I felt good doing it. I kind of did it without doctor's permission, but I still felt good doing it and don't feel like I, had any type of side effects or whatever from it. Yes. That's what I'm doing. This is what I'm sharing as far as check-in is concerned, that I'm still excited, still ready and waiting for the September challenge, but I'm not regressing from what we already discussed in the beginning.
Yes. And that's a good point to stop because a lot of times, remember, if you have doctor's orders not to do something, please don't do that. Please be released from your doctors before you start any of this. We don't want you doing something and being so committed because Joetta and Tyrone said to do this and your doctors are saying something else. So please be mindful that they are the professionals. So if they're saying don't do that, don't do it.
So walking like you just did, that's fine. I always tell people, you have to push yourself. Walking is always fine because in a minute, they're gonna ask you to take a stress test. So like I said, me having COVID, getting out, a week out of the hospital, I couldn't do the stress test. Right. There's no way I was passing that stress test. I'm telling you, I couldn't. I was just too weak. Okay, so go back to us telling you right now, what's your
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I needed that, Tyrone, because I did not share that the last time I took the stress test, which was 2 months ago, I failed. Any other time prior to my health situations, I had always passed with flying colors. Yes. So I had been feeling really some type of way about that. I want to tell you that. So now I'm adding that to my challenge that I will pass my stress test. The doctor did say today that I would be released more than likely by September and even more so the end of August to be able to walk.
Okay.
So part of my challenge is that I want to be able to walk 20 minutes a day, even if I have to work myself up to it.
Yes.
And I want to be able to do that at least 3 times a week. So I want to be consistent, and I want to walk 20 minutes, and I want to pass that stress test with flying colors.
Well, we know that you're going to do that. So thank you for sharing that. Now we're going to go to our next session, which is preparation and being prepared. But before we do that, we want to go over the JoTyme health tips. And we have a video that we want to show you that's going to kind of outline this next segment of the JoTyme health tips.
Okay, this is the
video coming up now. Yes. So
a collapsed lung happens when air enters the pleural space, the area between the lung and the chest wall. If it is a total collapse, it is called pneumothorax. If only part of the lung is affected, it is called atelectasis. Causes of a collapsed lung include lung diseases such as pneumonia or lung cancer, being on a breathing machine, surgery on the chest or abdomen, and a blocked airway. If only a small area of the lung is affected, you may not have symptoms. If a large area is affected, you may feel short of breath and have a rapid heart rate. A chest X-ray can tell if you have it. Treatment depends on the underlying cause.
So we wanted to show you that, and this is a special segment that Tyrone takes over, the JoTyme health tip, and it's all yours now.
Okay, same thing that happened with me. I didn't have a collapsed lung, but I had an inflamed lung from having pneumonia inside my lungs. So these are different functions of your lungs. Okay, what are the functions of the lungs? The lungs' main function is to help oxygen from the air we breathe into the red cells in the blood. Okay, red blood cells then carry oxygen around the body to be used in the cells found in the blood. The lungs also help the body to get rid of oxygen, CO2 gas, when we breathe out. So the bottom line is the lungs themselves work as a vacuum. We breathe in our nose and it fills our lungs up, and then we breathe out our mouth. So we have to let the bad oxygen and air and all of those particles come out. Okay, so right on the screen, you can just look at this, screenshot it, and look at some of the things that happen on this page right here. Go to the next slide. Okay, the warning signs of lung diseases. Okay, chronic cough, I had that. Blood with a cough, I didn't have that. Chest pain, I had that. Wheezing, I didn't have that. Excessive phlegm, I had that, and shortness of breath. 4 out of the 6 signs that I had let me know that something was wrong with me December the 13th, which got me to go to the doctor, and I wind up having COVID pneumonia. So these things, when they happen to you, you really can't breathe and you coughing and you have phlegm in your chest and your chest is tight, call your physician. I called him, he told me to meet him at the hospital. So do not hesitate. Next slide. Okay. Healthy bronchial and alveoli that's the clear, clean lung. So when you go to the bottom part, that's what I had, pneumonia. So when you look at the second bottom part to the right, that's the inflamed part, and that's the excess mucus. That's what builds up in your lungs and starts you to have those different type of symptoms, okay? And right now, the difference between having a healthy lung and a smoker's lung. Now, guess what? A lot of times people say, I never smoked. And you can get secondhand smoke. I was a firefighter, and most of the time, if I took my mask off in the building, I inhaled smoke. So a lot of times I'm thinking that I'm the healthiest guy in the world, not knowing that I really had to go back and clean my lungs out, okay? So read this and it'll tell you some of the things that affect us. And here's some of the things that we have to also realize that's what's going on in the air. As these million of alveoli fill the air, the lungs get bigger. So when they fill the air, our lungs get bigger, okay? That oxygen from the air passes through our bloodstream. Then all the cells in our body need oxygen. Every single cell in our body needs that oxygen. Oxygen passes through the walls, and then it's the tiny capillaries that surround us, okay? So now, when we go back to public health issues of the lungs, what harms your lungs? Tobacco use, air pollution, climate change, and obesity. And to help lung health, you gotta exercise. You have to exercise. You gotta breathe. There are breathing exercises that I told you. And this is one of the things that really saved my life and just opened up my airways again. You know, to breathe it in. I remember doing it the first time and I couldn't even get to 500. Right now, I put it up here to 2,500. And when I go in, I'm at 3,000. So to be back to normal for me is just amazing, okay? And vaccines also help. So get checked out, know what happens when you having a cough or something is not right in your system. And these are some of the foods and stuff that you do, especially during the wintertime. Wintertime is one of the hardest times when it comes to lung health. You can have green tea, cinnamon water, ginger, and turmeric, and apple and beetroot. All of those things you can mix and it help keep your lungs clean.
And I think that's important for him to share that with you. And when we talk about the JoTyme health tips, these are just tips that we share with you because we think it's important. And sometimes the tips work for you and sometimes they may not, but I'm sure you may know someone that can benefit from these tips. So it's important that you write them down. And guess what? If you go to YouTube
Yes.
and put in JoTyme Fitness, you can start seeing all of these episodes over and over again.
Yeah.
So if you miss something here, if you go to YouTube and write in JoTyme, that's Tyme Fitness, you'll see all of the episodes that you can watch and look at the health tips and some of the other information that you may have missed when we were live. So we're talking about being prepared, and this is important for the challenge. You know, what will we need? We're gonna need water, and I have Tyrone talk about that. We're gonna need water. We're gonna need you to get a rope. We have these weights here, so we're gonna need you to get weights. He showed you some bands last time.
Yeah.
We want you to get that. We want you, of course, to get the JoTyme health gear that we have, and you can get that off the website.
Yeah.
We want you to have that. We want you to have your JoTyme journal. And these are all part of being prepared. So when September comes, there will be no excuses. We talked about water. How much water should we have a day? We talked about that last time.
4 to 6 cups of water or bottles. But like your body's 65 to 70% water. So a lot of times we get dehydrated because we're not drinking enough water. And one fun fact is a cucumber itself has 90% water. So guess what? You got a glass of water or a bottle of water, cut some cucumbers up and put them in there, and you got a little flavored water from a lemon, cucumber, orange.
Strawberries, mixtures, yes. So that's all very healthy. And then at JoTyme Fitness, we meet you where you are. So JoTyme Fitness, our concern is that we work on 6 to success. So that's rope, that's cardio, that's abs, that's hamstrings, that's arms, and that's your glutes. So those are the 6 parts of the body that we're going to focus on. And Tyrone knows, and I now know that one of the best exercises that you can do will be a rope. Now you're looking at us saying, we're not going to jump rope. Well, you may not. When you watch the app, there'll be a place for beginners, advanced, and intermediate. So if you're going to, if you have a jump rope, and if you don't have the rope or can't jump rope, we're going to start by just circling your arms and tapping your leg to the left and to the right, to the left, to the right. So that's going to substitute jump rope. And there will be a time when you will be able to jump the rope. But for right now, he talks about that. And there's so many different activities that you can do with jump rope that I've learned from him. and we'll show you those as well. So then the vitamins too.
Yeah.
What are some of the vitamins that we think that they should have in their repertoire?
Well, a multivitamin is always good. And for those that are over 50, they have women's 50 and over, men's 50 and over. They also have different, what we want to do is we want to go to be vitamin efficient, not deficient, right? So some things that we do drains those different type of vitamins out of us. Vitamin K, vitamin D, vitamin E. Those things come out of our system quick. Okay, so you have to put those things back in from fruits, vegetables, but a multivitamin helps you out also.
And I think that is also important to know that when we are going to do the preparation phase, you have to warm up. We're going to stretch the mind, the body, and the soul, but we want you to warm up, because as you warm up, you're putting the blood is going through your system, so that's getting ready to do the workout. We don't want anyone going out here doing anything without a warm up. And some of the apps, we will have the warm up there, and then sometimes we're going to say, if you have not warmed up, stop to do the warm up. And then once you do the warm up, we do the workout. And that's going to be the really fun part, because the workouts will be geared for whatever you want. So say that one day you want to work on your quads, so you do the workout for that. We have some that do cardio and arms together, so that you can just click on whatever you think is best for you. But the one thing that you must do, you must be prepared. If you want to, if sometimes for me, I like looking nice when I'm doing some workouts. So I have nice cool gear. But look, don't let that cool gear distract you from not doing your job, which is to do your fitness routine. So if you have a t-shirt and your favorite shorts or whatever, please feel free to do that. But it's important that you prepare and get ready for this fitness part now, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in the show.
And be mindful that when you start touching these things back here, weights, you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to lose weight automatically because they're called weights. So weights is going to start putting muscle on top of you, and then you're going to burn the fat off. So I was telling Joetta, it's funny, 2 weeks, I've been, testing the weights and doing things. I put on 5 pounds, and the 5 pounds looks bulky for me, but I have to start doing cardio to come back down. But I didn't have muscle mass, so I have to do enough weight training to get my muscles up before I start losing. So don't get discouraged when we go 1 week, get on the scale. I got on the scale last week, 189, and all of a sudden it's 193. So don't get discouraged, because the purpose for me is to get my muscle mass. I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to eat more and everything. But then in the long run, by the time 28 days is over, I'm back down to my fighting weight and I'm ready to go.
Now you're looking at him and saying, well, we don't want to gain weight. He wants to gain weight. Remember, there's going to be a stage for all of you. So for him, or for some of you, you may want to gain weight and then get toner. Some of you may want to get toned right away.
So you want to do the weights. That's what she's trying to say is, I'm doing it to put muscle on so I can lose.
That's his purpose.
If we go from a cardio standpoint, for you to just shred and get lean, that's what you're going to do. No, you can do weights, light weights. 15 pounds, 12 pounds won't do anything for me. I'm up to doing 30, 40 pounds. So I'm putting more muscle mass on.
And if you don't have weights and not able to get them, you have a book in your home, you have a water bottle in your home. So we will again tell you what you can use to substitute having weights. And if you have access to a gym, that'll be fine. You can take this to the gym and do this as well. But this program, JoTyme Fitness, we kind of meet you where you are. So you don't necessarily have to go to the gym. You can do it right at home. And it's only 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I know you don't feel like you're doing anything unless you're out there for 4, 3, and 2 hours at a gym. I have a lot of friends say, I was there for 2 hours. I did this. And I'm like, really? Well, I can't see the difference. How about do my 20 minutes workout? I'm being transparent. I can't see a difference. Why? Because they're on the phone, they're talking half of the time. They're not really working out for 20 minutes. If they take out the time that they were talking or waiting to use the machine, that's about a half an hour of that taken out. And then the daydreaming part. So again, if you're going to do this, it's going to be 20 minutes. You're going to get in and then you're going to get out. We're not going to be on the phone calling people. We're not, another 15 minutes goes when you're making your Instagrams to put it up on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter that you're at the gym. We're not doing any of that. That could be done before the warm-up And they can be done after the workout. But while you're working out for this 20-minute period, you are not doing any of that.
No.
He laughed at me when I said I don't see a difference. I was telling you why I didn't see a difference, because they're doing a lot of other things within that 2-hour period.
You said focus.
Yeah,
What's their focus?
They weren't focused.
What's their body part? Like a lot of times when you go in, we want to know, like that's your journal. Your journal is what body part do you really want to focus on and have that target. If it's arms, that's your target body part from shoulders all the way down. If it's torso, it's from here, there. Then it's for quads and hamstrings, or then it's for calves. So different body parts. But I said always work the back too. Don't always just think I look so good coming towards somebody or taking pictures, but behind you has to be, good too. I always say that.
And what we're going to do also with the journal is going to be a very simple journal. You're going to put down your starting weight and your purpose, and then you're going to write down what you had to eat, what you did spiritually, what you did for nutrition, and then also how much rest are you going to get. That is so important. I think that sometimes I don't even know how much I get, but I know I'm not getting 6 to 7 hours a night of sleep. So it's important that you do that. And you say, well, I can make it up for 4 hours. Can you tell them why 4 hours is not enough time?
Because your body won't come back to you. Rest repairs our body. Like when we're working out and lifting, tiny blood vessels are bursting in our system, and we have to repair them. Same thing with your mind. You just can't do 4 hours and expect to do 20 hours of uptime or, paying attention, or it's too much.
Right.
You're worrying about what you're going to eat today, what you're going to wear today, what kind of hairstyle, I'm going to the gym, going to the beauty parlor, going to everything. Everything is there. Go to sleep, rest, shut everything down.
Put those phones down.
Put everything down.
Yeah, and get some rest. So one of my purposes would be to try, when it's that time, try to get 6 hours nonstop rest, sleep. Go to bed at 10 and try and make it to at least 2 or 3 at least before I get up and then go back again. Sometimes I find myself resting like I eat. Every 2 hours I'm up, and that's breaking up my rest. And you wake up so tired.
Yeah.
You wake up exhausted. Like, God, I felt like I didn't even go to sleep. Well, you didn't, because you never got that REM sleep and you never got past 2 hours of sleep. So the rest component is going to be very important during the fitness challenge. So we want to show you one more thing about our fitness challenge, which we're going to talk about. We talked about the nutrition, the condition, and also the rest. But this next slide that we're going to show you, we'll talk about the purpose of this challenge. The challenge is a 28-day challenge, and it will include condition, nutrition, and rest. And I told you what you needed. You need water, you need rope, you need the workout gear, journal. But these next 2 things are very important. You need to have a positive attitude, and remember to put yourself first. You don't need permission to put yourself first. So for September, these 28 days, you're going to put yourself first. And once you start doing that, you're going to say, oh, I like putting myself first. So then when October comes, you're still putting yourself first. And then it becomes a habit, not something that just happens every now and then.
That segment went by pretty fast too.
Again, does anyone want to check in with us right now? Anybody want to check in with us? Any check-in? JoTyme check-in? And even though you don't raise your hand and don't put anything in the chat, we still answer all of the emails. So if you email us at JoTymeFitness@gmail.com, that's JoTymeFitness@gmail.com, we will be happy to answer your questions. But right now, again, this is time for you to check in with us. Did you have any questions you want to ask of us? Any comments you want to make? I see some people that have been here before on the show, so I'm glad to have see your face again. We've become a big family, it appears. But starting next month, we're going to even go more internationally and globally. So we have a question we're going to ask Vic to come on and ask your question. I don't see your face, but we see your hand.
Good afternoon. I want to thank the both of you for your awesome presentations. And I joined a little late, but I'm here. Always support when and where I can. Awesome information. And I know I need to start moving more to get some of this weight off myself.
Yes.
So I'm listening to the things that you guys are saying and recommending, and I'm going to start my process, and I'm going to start that journal as well.
Well, look, Vic, you didn't get the beginning, but you can go to JoTyme Fitness, go to YouTube, put in JoTyme Fitness, and the information that you missed initially, that will all be there. And we're going to get this word out. Tribe, audience, friends. We remember, we took that word out.
Yes.
2 sections ago. We're not saying tribe. I'm going to try. It's I'm going to do this. And so we're going to put words of affirmation, positive affirmation that will help you do something as opposed to making an excuse not to. And try, I try and get there. I'll let you know. Those things are just excuses for it not happening. So you're going to get your journal and you're going to start in September. We talked about all the things that you need. So it will be on the video on YouTube when you go back in there tomorrow to look at it, and you can get all your material. But guess what? Next week, we're going to continue to remind everybody what you need.
And Vic, you asked me about something yesterday you picked up, right? What was it?
I didn't pick it up yet because by the time you got back to me, I had already left the store because I was running around doing a lot of things. But I'm going to get it. Is it like a detox type of thing or cleanser?
It's detox. It's a probiotic.
Oh, probiotic. Yes.
No, I don't mess around with detoxes when it comes to anybody because I don't know what meds they on or not on.
Yeah.
And I don't want. So what the probiotic is going to do is just going to flush all the bad bacteria out your system and give your energy levels, raise them back up. That's all it is.
Well, thank you, Vic, for coming on again this week. We're gonna have Pamela, and then we're gonna do Sophia next. So Pamela Hawkins, thank you for joining the show this week. And what is your question? Well, if I don't.
Oh, am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, hey, Joetta, you might not remember me, but first I have to say the gotta do was excellent, off the chain. Oh my gosh!
Well, you gotta tell them I did an executive women's breakfast presentation, and Pamela was on the show, obviously. So thank you very much. When I'm having a bad day, I remember that energy, and I just say, "Wow, I did."
Oh yes, I was taking my son to drop him off, and I thought, Bryce, I can't get back to my computer, so I was in my car and the phone, but I had my little notebook, and I was.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Now my check-in, and I'm just so encouraged. Now you might not know, but about 10 years ago, after never taking movement for granted, MS, I was like, really? And I was in a wheelchair for years, but I've been relentless from my years of training and then this nutrition and being a nutritionist. I can walk now. I can drive my adapted van, not using my using my legs around town. Yeah. And I started a quest on. I said, I just want to first walk again.
Yes.
And I achieved that just functionally walking about 2019 and just using the cane and aids and things like that. But I was just determined to still just walk.
Yes.
And so now I can walk. I could, and then I wanted to be able to drive regular, at least in town, and I can do that now. But there's still more to come. But I have to, people like you and Joe, this is keeping me balanced because often I get in my own way. When I'm feeling good, I said, okay, maybe I'll do a little more. Maybe I'll do a little more. And then I wind up regretting it the next day. But you said something that this challenge, because I do my nutrition and I do all that, but putting me first.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's
it gets me all the time.
Yes.
Me and a mom of 3, even though they're in college, I still, and others caring for my mom, but I still often forget about me. And that was one thing I took away so many things from your presentation. But, and my goal is to continue. Actually, I would like to, I thought trot again. I mean, I'm working on regular walking, and I can do that pretty much where people think like nothing's even wrong. But when I go to kind of go into a trot. They don't, and my legs don't work that way yet. But
let me stop you for 1 second because we have other people. Your story is amazing. So congratulations. That's a testament to you, but more importantly, it's to God and his favor that he's had with you and his grace and mercy. So,
and I got a cure for you. For the trot. The trot is going to be in the water. Okay. I do a lot of water training, and my sister at one time back was out, and we did a lot of water work. She's doing well now. Okay.
So stay in touch with us on our email. Yes. And we're going to go to our next one, but congratulations on that. And those are stories that motivate us. I did not know she was listening to the presentation, but I'm glad that she did, and she came on today. And again, we're not doctors, so we're not physical therapists. So we cannot give you medically what to do as far as the trotting and things, but if you're already walking, that's a blessing. And so what we're going to do now is just maybe start getting those legs a little stronger.
Sophia.
Hello.
How are you?
Tyrone and Joetta, how are you both?
Great.
I am so excited to be a part of the programs. It has motivated me so much. I'm a cancer survivor, and one of the hardest things for me is I have so much water weight on my body, and it's so much swelling. It's hard to walk. So you've encouraged me, and I'm excited because I have started exercising since I've, seen your program, and I thought it was going to be impossible for me because I don't have the endurance. So some of the things and examples have you given, like, different ways I can do it. I stand encouraged. I'm going to perform the challenge, and I think I can do it.
Well, we know you can. We're going to take the think out and you say, I will do
it. Oh, no, I will do it.
Absolutely. And most importantly, we can start doing exercises while you're seated too.
Yeah.
So there's going to be all of that for you as well. So we're going to take you one step at a time. We're going to go nice and slowly, and we're going to achieve the goal that you want to achieve.
Yes, thank you so much. It's an honor.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Wow, I feel special. I know you do as well, to be able to see all the faces and some of the people you know and we know, and that's a good thing. But I think what we're finding out is that we are becoming part of your family, and that's what we set out to do. The purpose of JoTyme Fitness wasn't particularly about getting us in shape. It's about what can we do.
I'm getting in shape. I don't know about this one, Miss in shape.
No.
I was getting in shape.
I'm not saying it like that.
I was out of shape.
Well, he was out of shape. He's always been in shape. He was out of shape because he was not healthy. So then when he got healthy, so we were like, what can we do and have the transformation? Now he's showing off, and that's the problem.
I'm just saying. Now
we're going to have other people on here doing check-in. They're going to be showing hamstrings and glutes and abs and all that stuff, and it's gonna all because of you set up here showing muscle. So look, if you want to send some pictures to the email, and we'll show them on the next segment of your muscles and stuff like that. But he just had to flex his little biceps. So let's clap for him. Everybody clap for Tyrone.
You just trying to show yours while you clapping. I see your work.
Everybody clap for Tyrone. But anyway, let's get back to our. So we have Cheryl Norman that wants to ask a question, and I see her with that University of Florida symbol behind her. So Cheryl, well, welcome to the show. And I know you have something that you want to say.
Congratulations to both of you guys.
Thank you.
But I'm actually taking you guys up on this challenge. I've been, while I was waiting for your app to come out, I'm doing those little quickie YouTube 15-minute walk things in the morning.
Yes.
And I'm swimming actually more often. So, I'm taking everybody up, and I'm just gonna do a shout out to Leslie. Leslie, go for it, girl. I'm gonna be your excellent cheerleader, and I'm excited. So let's all work together.
Yes.
I think that'd be good for us to do that. And I know at JoTyme Fitness, we meet you wherever you are. So remember, wherever you are, we're gonna meet you there, and you have to remain persistent. You have to stay consistent. You can't give up on yourself, because we're not gonna give up on you. When we haven't gotten to this point yet, but we're going to be one big family. So it might be something important for us to do where you can communicate to each other during that week to motivate each other, you know, so that might be something that we can add to the website as well. So to get more information starting next month, which is in 4 days, you can go to Joetta sportsandbeyond.com, and you can go to JoTymeFitness@gmail.com. So that's where you can get all of the information that you need. If you can't get the fitness journal, please just get a notebook and write everything down. So it's very important that you journal and you keep track of what you're doing. As an athlete, I did that. I wrote down my workouts, what I had to eat, how I was feeling that day. In life, even now, I write down my goals as a speaker, what I want to accomplish as a businesswoman. So it's very important to journal. So JoTyme Fitness, we kind of meet you where you are. And I'm very thankful that Tyrone is healthy. I'm very thankful that I'm healthy, because the two of us, when we're healthy, we can have the same mindset and we can give you information that will keep you healthy. We are not the substitute for doctors. We're not medical people. So remember that. We're not that.
Even though, like, I remember training a lot of firefighters to come on the job. And the first thing I asked them, did they go to their doctor to get a checkup? And they did go to their doctor to get a checkup, but guess what the doctor don't do? A stress test. So you're not just coming on the job to be a firefighter going up and burning buildings, wearing all this stuff on your back without dragging stuff, picking up stuff for hours. So a lot of times guys will come in there ripped up, basketball players, professional, whatever. And as soon as I put the 40 pound on them, this is my shoulder. As soon as I put it on, their shoulders go down. I'm telling you, you got to walk for 5 minutes and they go on. So imagine being 275 and I put 40 pounds on you. You 315. Is you got to go and pick up a 50 pound bag and run up the stairs 12 times. So all the things that I was telling them about health, nutrition, they stopped drinking soda, hanging out at night. Of course, they really wanted to come on. They were young. And they shred weight and came on the job. So a lot of times what we telling y'all is we trying to get you to be the best you.
Yes.
To get into that inner side of you and bring out the best you, you know, and the mindset is the first thing. You have to think it. I always tell Joetta, we think it, we write it down, and then we do it. I don't ever want anybody to just start writing in the journal just to be writing it because Tyrone said get probiotics. No. See what, go online, do your homework. Probiotics, it's in a lot of things, in yogurt and different things.
Right.
So see what probiotics does, because it's a long way for that probiotic to work. You take it, it goes down your esophagus, it goes through all of this stuff to get to the main point to get the bacteria.
Right.
Bacteria is not up here. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, we're cleaning out your system. We're doing the Pedialyte, we're doing the cherry juice, we're doing water, a lot of water, a lot of water, a lot of water.
You talk about cherry juice as well?
Yes, pure cherry juice, organic cherry juice. Cherries are so good, but it fights the inflammation in your body. Your muscles aching, because once you start lifting and lifting, trust and believe me, you're gonna start tramping up sometime or getting tight. And that's good, that's because your muscles are growing. But what the cherry juice does, it goes in there and it relaxes that inflammation and that muscle stuff. A lot of times we're gonna tell you when workouts are done, put your legs up. Find a place on the wall or a chair and elevate your legs. That way the blood comes back down to your heart and it relaxes you. So a lot of times we're gonna do some unorthodox things that a lot of these fitness people don't do, because sometimes it's all about fitness. For us, it's not all about fitness. You know, it's mind, body, and soul. Right. We wanna work every single thing. Like we give you quotes, we'll tell you, like today, somebody might come on when we're doing the exercise and say, I'm tired. That's good to be, you're gonna be tired. We might not be 100%.
Yes.
And the first thing we go, okay, so the ones that are tired, let's get your body going. Jump up, get your heart going. Okay, do some stretching, play some music, get in that mood before we start. You know, we don't wanna just go 20 minutes. No, that's not what we want.
And that's why we also warm up. And when we do the warm up, we do the fitness activity, and then we're gonna do a cool down. And then the cool down phase is to get your heart rate back down and to get you ready for rest, that nice sleep you're gonna get. But it also will get you ready for the next workout. And we suggest that you work out there will be a bunch of sessions up there. And if you've been doing activities before, you might want to try it every day. I don't know, but we suggest you do between out of the 7 days, try and get between 3 and 4 days out of that week of sessions in.
Yeah.
And if you have more time, you might want to do one in the morning, an ab workout in the morning, and then later on in the evening, you may want to do a leg workout. So you have the idea to change and select whatever you want to. But we're just here to help you make that decision in the confines of your home, or if you want to go to the gym and see, show everybody what you're doing with JoTyme Fitness, we would appreciate that as well. And I think that it was also important, if you do go to YouTube and put in JoTyme Fitness and it comes up, please subscribe to our channel. And also, these sessions will only be found in the JoTyme Fitness Summertime Fitness session.
Yeah.
So go to the Summertime Fitness series, because the month of July is when we would start talking about the challenge. And again, the challenge will be a 28-day challenge, and it's going to start in September. And the one thing that we want you to do is to believe in yourself. And I know Tyrone wants to say something about that, because we're at a point where it's almost time to say so long for this week.
Yeah, I mean, this was a nice segment, fitness segment, because like I said, you learned a little bit about blood, oxygen levels, your lungs. We just want to let you know, when we start to get this fitness thing going, at any time you feel, tired, sore, this and that, we're going to tell us, send us a text or email or whatever, and we'll let you know how to, do it. Because a lot of times people don't realize they got acronyms for a lot of things. RICE, rest, ice, compression, and elevate. Those are things we cover. That's a recovery tool. When your legs are sore and you're tight, RICE, rest, you got to rest. You got to ice it. You got to put a compression sleeve on, and you got to elevate it.
Yes.
And that right there will bring you back. Heat, same thing with heat. Heat is when you're tight, and I had to put heat on the back of my shoulder for 6 or 7 months. So the heat can get in through. You get different type of heat and stuff, a heating pad. You can put some type of
Some of that balm
cream.
What was that cream that you told them to get? Remember the cream?
Oh,
that
Anika oil.
Anika oil,
So
that was something.
you put that on, and it gets into your muscles, and it relaxes your muscles, and you feel much better, and you can start moving your arms around. Okay.
And I think the first line of defense is not particularly telling us. Make sure you tell your doctor. So if you're feeling sore or something's not right, your body, please go get that checked out. Don't wait on that. Please get it checked out and speak to a professional that can help you and determine if you can continue working out, or if you need to have some type of more severe attention to that area of concern. So Tyrone, do you want to say something in closing?
I just want everybody to know that we're thankful for you to get to the end of July, going into August with us, and everybody, pray, get your thought pattern good. And in the morning, just have a good morning. Like the nights are crazy out there and stuff in the world, but try to start your day off with a good prayer or something good in your head.
And I just want you to know that this show is being sponsored by the Currnt, but our next show will be, and so they're done for the month of July. And if you want to become a sponsor, if you want to learn how to become a sponsor, or if you think you have information that you want to share with us about being on the show, please visit us at jotymefitness@gmail.com, and we can talk to you about how to become a sponsor. Now, this is going to be a shameless plug. If you want to be the champion of your lives, and after you get done with all this working out and you want to feel good, please feel free to go to my website and look at the Joetta perfume, body butter, and body scrub.
For the females.
And my men are wearing this stuff too.
I don't know about no
my men are using the scrub, and my men are telling me they wear the perfume because it attracts the attention of women. And they say to you, what do you have on? And that's what they say. Look, I don't know, because I'm not a guy, but if you don't want to buy it for yourself, buy it for someone that's a female. But the bottom line is, if you want to add this to your collection of what you need to add, I didn't put that down there as a preparation, but I figured I would do a shameless plug at the end. Is that okay?
As long as you keep it on the female tip.
I do a shameless plug. So with that, with all that being said, I just want to say that you remember that you don't eat, you don't live to eat. You want to live to. No, you don't want to. What is it?
You do live.
You don't. You. You eat to live. You don't live to eat. Okay. You eat to live. You don't live to eat.
Yes.
And so I always like to thank my producer that's not in the studio with us, but he's been doing a great job. That's Matt Chakowski. He's been very helpful with everything with the program. And so we have AJ in studio and Matt's not in studio, but he does a great job. And I want to say, it doesn't matter what road you take, but what you become along the journey. Thank everyone for taking the journey with us for these last 12 sessions. And we look forward to you taking the journey next month with us as we have our new sponsor. We have another new sponsor. It's called Prime Time Scouting. They will be the sponsor on the next segment. Tyrone again is flexing his muscles.
I just want to
So he just wants to see how heavy it is. He knows how heavy it is. But what's important is that we need you to know that we care about you and that we want you to be the champion of your lives. And as you hang out with us at JoTyme Fitness, that's what we're going to have you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll see everybody next week. And when we have Anthony Uber talking about strategies for student athletes. See you next time.
Right.